Hello, fabulous fans and superstars of my dear friend Nadiya Shah. I am Yuriria Robles and I wish you a very happy new year 2025. Welcome to the predictions for each sign for the month of January. Remember to consult your sign and rising and moon sign for a more complete prediction. Aries, it is the last month that the North Node is in your sign, and that meant a series of teachings that made you recover the importance of feeling that you can conquer, that you can overcome fear, even though you continue the awareness of what hurt you to act and that for a long time you were asked to stop. Now you know that stopping completely is not a solution. Realize that waiting is wise sometimes, or go ahead also. But at this time you must make a deep reflection of who you are, what you are capable of achieving, and that you can agree with others to move forward. The month begins with a tense dialogue imposed by the Moon and Pluto conjunction in exact opposition to Mars, your ruling planet, which means a work of action and confrontation, establishing a power struggle mainly within yourself. New acquisitions, contacts, and hopes in general appear on your radar, but also externally by acting creatively with your children, loves, all that imposes you a balanced interaction between all. As a leader, in addition to acting creatively, but considering the group, showing intelligence and discipline to control your obsession for the new. The strength is in the dialogue. Be careful with speculation, ask questions, and act with intelligence. As Mars is in a period of retrogradation, on the 6th it re-enters Cancer to establish its dialogue with the Sun in Capricorn, turning the attention towards the way to achieve goals and at the same time protect your home, your roots, which gives you security. This dialogue generates anxiety and tension because moving towards the achievement of goals implies leaving behind the past, and that is scary, especially on the 13th when the full moon occurs together with Mars, strengthening the old values that made you get to where you are, and you feel that the goals and ways to improve put at risk what you already have achieved. This process will extend until April, and only then will we return to the dynamic that was raised on January the 1st, allowing the leadership that is able to move with the group into the future with discipline and intelligence. The opposition of your ruling planet demands that you recognize which beliefs and inheritances that you receive at home form a sustenance and which are a barrier, because if so, you will have to jump over it now with the support of others, not to do your holy will, but so that together with others you can go further and faster. The new friends and hopes that begin to present themselves makes you see the new task and ask you to take risks. You cannot do it until you make sure you protect your home and what gives you security. While Mars returns to Cancer and until May, it will be a time of review. Do not take it personally that you do not advance as you would like. Then you will feel an important creative development. But for now, I insist, do not confront. Listen and talk to your siblings, cousins, and neighbors. Your feelings exist. You do not have to deny them or spread your anger. Use your imagination, work with it, and strive to capture everything that inspires you and direct your anger towards creativity. In reference to love, Venus is ending its passage in Aquarius, but will move on the 3rd to Pisces, where its energy is expressed gently, imposes its logic of romance and idealism. For you to recognize yourself as a lover is not easy. It confronts you because you feel more comfortable in the conquests and fleeting loves independent. The fact that this movement of Venus is in the house of dreams, of the unconscious, of privacy, and of hidden and secret businesses brings you the unexpected with a force that you should anticipate. It can be an ideal love, a cinematic one, or a totally tempting business. You will have in front of you the challenge of commitment, because on the 18th it reaches Saturn and establishes a harmonic dialogue with Mars, emphasizing with this love to the past, to what you already have, and at the same time the love to the new. which is exciting because Uranus imposes a brief harmonic nexus towards the end of the month with Venus. On the 28th, Venus reaches the degree where it will return in its retrogradation period in March and April. On the 29th, it reaches Neptune in Pisces, and the North Node also enters this sign. So all this means a great idealization, a longing for love and desire that surpasses everything imagined. On the non-coherent side, it signifies great sacrifice and detachment from reality. This movement into Pisces is emphasized by the North Node that will remain there 18 months with its counterpart, the South Node in Virgo. So the effect of what happens is not fleeting and has the purpose of transforming all your dreams and, in essence, your personality, revealing what you may fear the most, which is to be stuck without the possibility of other conquests. But believe me that a situation as idyllic as this will not be repeated. This change affects relationships that will insatiably seek an idealization that is natural to the North Node in Pisces, but will be considerably increased by the conjunction Venus-Neptune. The objective of this configuration is to re-establish faith in love and in the ideal, but it brings the stamp of impatience because Venus will reach to enter your sign to return to Pisces, where the inferior conjunction of Venus occurs, and will end its retrograde in a long conjunction with Saturn, which is where it began, bringing the love awakening to reality. As if that were not enough, growth and order are configured by Jupiter in Gemini and Saturn in Pisces. This means a conflict of possibilities. The dilemma is to change or stay as you are, and Mars in Cancer is emphasizing attachment to the past, and Pluto imposes its orientation towards the future, making the choice even more tense and complex. The dilemma is to risk or deny yourself an opportunity. Reconciling them is the job. This is a process that will be ongoing until mid-year. On the 13th, when the full moon forms in Capricorn, it does so in conjunction with Mars, which emphasizes the confrontation with Pluto that we have been pointing out in the area of career and public status, to stand out within the community and at the same time taking care of the home, the closest environment and domestic life, protecting your roots. Then security should not distract us from our goal, because if we do not risk to change, to improve ourselves internally, and we hide, protecting the known, we will lose the progress. On the other hand, to risk everything by losing security is not advisable either. That is why balance is necessary, not only during this day, but the week that follows from the 13th to the 21st of the month, in which the Sun will join this dialogue. Neptune allows us to imagine how improvement would be possible. Without losing security, perhaps, we can sacrifice some things, situations, or relationships in search of progress, realizing that they are really a burden or a comfort zone, and that we can no longer stay in the same place or in the same situation. Then we can have honesty and use diplomacy and elegance to say goodbye to the old and strive to achieve the new. As I said at the beginning, it is an exercise of discipline, an effort, a will above all to reach the desired goal. Now let's remember that belonging does not mean adjust or conform to what others order. It is about offering the best of ourselves and negotiate with others if they do not want. That's not where it is. And in contrast, to accept what others are and offer. If you do not want it, well, there is no obligation to stay, but by accepting, each and every one gets the responsibility for their actions, fulfillments, and obligations. Maintaining a creative attitude in the group. Even by Uranus, we have the willingness to change the habit or the old. Mercury, in its passage through Capricorn, also focuses on the goal. But even so, we can insist on the fear that gives us lose what we have gained, even if it means improvement, is to want to put on new shoes without taking off the old ones. This full moon emphasizes the decision process between the old and the new. Leaving the comfort zone requires courage and knowing how to accommodate the unknown. The above will be idealized because Neptune is pulling the veil of the ideal of the past and Pluto supports this mirage, but at the same time we receive the temptation of the new due to the harmonic dialogue with Uranus at this time. In addition, we feel the confrontation of the wound of the past with the rebelliousness to agree. In no way we are in this position to yield in anything. Also, Venus in this moment, reunited with Saturn, cooperates in the tense dialogue with Jupiter that proposes an excess of communication with multiple voices and proposals that provoke this dispersion, and however the resolution of this conflict would make us win the future. I propose calm and patience because the pressure of the new is inevitable. This full moon in Cancer warns you precisely what will be more important later. Work as a team and rationally act with facts, not with intuitions as we have been doing. But I insist you must get ready to see it and have the patience to wait, not without moving, rather working first to protect your safety, free of excesses, resentments, and insecurities. You have time. It is until May that these new opportunities and adventures will return. Do not despair. For the new moon on the 29th, new proposals continue, but now they are acquisitions, social contacts, desires and hopes in general. They will become more important as times go by, but will hinder the accommodation you have provided. Friends and new hopes will ask you to free yourself from the old habits and tastes. Even now, the fact that the energy is moving toward theories and ideologies does not mean for now that you ignore your feelings nor those of others. Even if it's not your thing, with 12 years of experience by Neptune in the 12th house, for you already have experience and sensitivity to deal with imagination and creativity that later will be demanded of you. The new moon, preceded by Pluto and Mercury, reinforces the sense of renewal in the groups to which we belong, in the hopes, in the ideologies, and above all in what we consider intelligent. It leads to fascination and taste for the new. Jupiter at this time brings a harmonious dialogue to hit with his enthusiasm and multiple ideas, inciting towards the new and technology. In addition, the North Node promises an ideal, a utopia, if you will, and at this time, the position of Mars in relation to Saturn seems to show agreements on what is worth keeping and what is not. Also, at that time, Mars receives all the support to find reasons, feelings to conserve what is valuable, and with that, we will feel strength to defend our beliefs, policies, and tastes in orderly and sensible manner. This contradiction between the group in Pisces and the group of planets in Aquarius makes it difficult for us to act. On the one hand, it awakens the rebelliousness, and on the other, the wound of acting inopportunately or unsuccessfully. The essential in terms of relationships is to accept that we must communicate without falling into dramas, manipulations, or victimization. But the obligation now and for 18th month is to understand the feelings, our own and others. The analysis will not be fashionable, but we must strive to take them into account. The path of resolution is long and goes in this direction. First, let's give space to the new, asking ourselves what we want to free ourselves from. Then, let's review what is truly valuable, inspire us, and has a special value in the heart. Let's make the decision to act with discipline, then remember our purposes and goals. It is with all this that we understand that changing is for our good. Neither foolishness nor dramas will help us at this time. To end the month, the emphasis in Aquarius helps us to be intelligent, but remember that we are beginning to revalue intelligence. However high it may be, it cannot isolate us by arrogance. It is rather to teach, communicate to others, suggest new ways and solutions, not to impose them by force. Even if it is Pluto, let us choose the path of transformation. Let us avoid the path of imposition. This last planet is the ruler of the lunation, and its position in Pisces brings us an effort to accept that it is possible to order the imagined reality. At times it will be too big what we imagine, and we will still suffer the excess of Pisces, but we will seek to reach an improvement anyway. The essential challenge to overcome is to accept the wound, to forgive in order to move, and to force oneself to negotiate, being honest with those who are really necessary. Only in this way we will be able to overcome resentment, anger, and paralysis. Let's go.